Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. Thank you so much for watching this video with me today. I'm going to show you how I made this huge, really large and very sturdy keepsake gift box. This measures 8 by 8 inches and it's 4 inches in depth, so it's really large. But as I said, it's really sturdy. It's reinforced 1 to 3 times on all sides and on the bottom. And the lid is also heavily decorated, so it's a nice and sturdy lid. Now, of course, for decorating this, you can use anything that you like, anything that you have in your stash. I used mainly, not only, but mainly Chloe's Creative Cards products, because just simply because I really enjoy using them these days, kind of obsessed with them. The lots of glitter and all, but as I said, you can decorate it any way you want. I'm going to show you how I made the box, and I have all the decorations ready, but I will walk you through every single bit that I used. So if you're interested in any of them, you can find out what I used and how I made the decorations for this. The lid, depth of the lid measures 1.5 inches. It's nice and sturdy and large. So if you're looking for a keepsake box for any occasion at all that is nice and sturdy and will keep for a while, this definitely is your tutorial. I made this one with Mother's Day coming up in mind. In the UK and Ireland we have Mother's Day coming Sunday, but this would make a perfect little gift box, or large gift box rather, for any birthday or any special occasion at all. Okay, so as I said, I'm making mine reinforced, but if you don't want yours as sturdy as this here, you can get away with much less cardstock. This one, because it's nice and heavy and sturdy, takes quite a lot of a cardstock to assembly. So for the base of the cardstock, I'm using a piece of cardstock, and this is Heavyweight 300 GSM that measures 8 by 8 inches. And I have 2 of these cut out in white and 1 in the pink. All the pink cardstocks in all different shades that I'm going to use today are from the Lidl cardstock range. Okay, so 2 in white and 1 in the pink. This is the bottom of the box. For the side of the box, I used 4 pieces that measure 8.5 by 8.5. So on one of the sides, because this is a square, doesn't really matter which sides, cordine at 4 inches and 8 inches. Turn it to the other side and cordine at 8 inches again. Okay. So now I'm going to fold and burnish all the score lines that I just made. And just with my scissors, I'm going to remove a few bits from here. One of them being this little square in the corner, and I'm just kind of cutting it at an angle. I'm going to keep this here as a tab and this bit here as a tab. This second 1/2 inch by 4 inches section, I'm going to just cut away. And also I'm going to give it a little angle cut in here to the end of the tab. So this is what we are going to end up with, and this is going to be the side of our box. I have 4 of these done. And I'm going to start gluing these onto the bottom of the box. I'm going to take one of these, and I'm going to be working with this long tab, the 8 by 1/2 inch of tab first of all. I'm taking the 8 by 8 inches of cardstock, and I'm just going to glue this onto one of the sides, making sure it folds up nice and square. Now I'm going to do this on all 4 sides of this with the remaining ones that I have already prepared. Now this is hard to fit all in one screen because it's quite large as it is, but what we are going to do basically is going to attach this tab to the next side, and then this here will be glued inside. This will give us a lovely reinforced side to all of them. So first of all, I'm going to focus on attaching these little tabs to the side next to them. Now that these sides are attached to the sides next to them using the little 1/2 inch tab, now I'm going to take my glue and I'm going to take this 4 by 8 of an inch of a flap and I'm going to glue it inside. Okay, now you try to fold it in, and if it's catching or it's bulking too much, you can always cut little angles away from this. Okay, it's not gonna make any difference. I'm going to leave it. It worked very well for the first time for me, so I'm just going to leave it. I'm going to use my Collard glue, which I think is the best glue I can use to really reinforce these sides. This is going to dry really nice and really sturdy, really heavyweight. This is my go-to glue when I'm making anything like this. Okay. Now I'm going to take my other two 8 by 8 inches of cardstock and I'm going to glue this onto the bottom. First I'm gonna do the white and then I'm going to glue the pink on as well, again using Collard glue. And this nicely now conceals all the tabs as well, and of course you can stop in here if you think that this is enough sturdiness for whatever present you're using, or if you want to decorate it further or make it sturdier for a heavier, larger gift, then you can add another layer just like I'm doing. Now from that exact same pink cardstock, I have cut out 4 pieces that measure 3 3/4 by 7 3/4, and I'm going to add this onto the sides of the box. Okay, so that's our nice sturdy box is ready. Once the Collard glue dries, it will dry nice and sturdy. It won't be as wobbly as it is now, but that needs a little time to dry. So while I'm setting this aside, I'm going to go on to the lid. The piece of cardstock for the lid measures 11 1/16 by 11 1/16. It has to go over that little bit over the 11 because I want this to be able to slide over the box. If I cut this from an 11 by 11 cardstock exactly, then this would just, the opening of the lid would be at exact same size as the opening of the box and it wouldn't slide over. So 11 1/16 by 11 1/16, and on all 4 sides just cord down at 1 1/2 of an inch. Okay, so once you've done that on all 4 sides, just fold and burnish the score lines. And I'm going to release these little tabs on all 4 corners by cutting up beside the score line and cutting little wedges into them. So just like this, and now so taking my quick grab glue and one of these corners, I'm going to attach to the side next to it, just like so. give it a second to dry, and now I'm going to bring my box back, and I'm going to glue in the rest of the tabs onto the sides next to them while it is on top of the box. Okay, so by arranging the tabs onto the sides next to them, or gluing it next to them even, while it's sitting on the box, I made sure that this lid will fit this box perfectly. These are handmade, and there could be a millimeter here or there of a distortion, and then it would be too tight so it won't fit over, or it would be too loose and then it would just fall off. Now this one fits absolutely perfectly, this box. Okay, now if you want to reinforce the insides of it, you can just cut out a few pieces of cardstock that measure 1.5 by 8 inches or a teeny tiny bit under. But what I'm going to do, I'm going to decorate them on the outside, and to do this I have cut out 4 pieces of cardstock, and I'm going to go with a lighter pink this time, and again the little cardstock, and these measure 1.25 by 7 3/4, and I'm just going to glue these on all 4 sides. So this is our box, nicely decorated or reinforced, and now I'm going to show you what all I have prepared to decorate the top of my box, or top of the lid even. Okay, so the first thing that I'm going to use is that same color as this pink here, is this gorgeous border, and this is from Chloe's set and the blooming border, and this is the largest one of them all. Okay, so I use this here to cut out that frame. Now I took the next one down, this here, and I've cut out this gorgeous butterfly cardstock. Okay, and this left it with a lovely perforated edge, and this paper is from the foiled paper pad, the beautiful butterfly set. It is so gorgeous, and it was this one here that I used. For the blue box that I already showed you, I used this one here. Okay, it's gorgeous. It's got that lovely oily shine to it. It's a really, really lovely paper pad. Then I took Chloe's glue pen, and I went around the edges, and I just added a little bit of a Crystallina, no, not this one, Crystallina glitter on all 4 sides. And these are tips and tricks that I learned from Chloe. I really enjoy watching her videos lately, especially on glittering and decorating techniques. I just absolutely adore her stuff. So I'm going to glue this on here, but I want to add a little bit of a dimension to this. Now you can use foam pads, foam strips if you have. What I'm going to use is just scrap pieces of chipboard that I always keep for stuff like this, and this is quite heavy. I think this is the thickest one I've ever used, so I'm just going to add a bit in here, and then another bit on beside it. Just like so, and I'm going to glue this on top of the pink cardstock. Oops, bit of a spillage. Now of course the cola glue will take a little bit of a time to dry, so I have to, it doesn't matter which direction I'm going anyway, but there we go. And now this adds to the sturdiness, and it's going to be nice and strong. So I'm going to set this aside to dry for a wee minute until I walk you through the rest of the stuff that I have used. So to create this gorgeous 3-layered butterfly, I've used the Grande Botanical Butterfly Stamp and Die set, again from Chloe's range. I think this is just gorgeous. It's such a lovely large stamp. Okay, and it comes with a matching die. Using only the die, I've cut out the base layer from the darker pink cardstock. Then I stamped and heat embossed it with white embossing powder on the lighter pink cardstock. It's this one in here. Okay, so to add a little bit of a color, I took the Spectrum Noir Tree Blend, and this is the bright pink one. And then I just inked up, starting with the darkest one on the inside, medium, and then the lightest one on the outside. And I just left the very outside ones just as it was pink on the cardstock. The top layer on a heat-resistant acetate, I heat embossed, stamped and heat embossed with my Versamarking, and using Wow clear hologram sparkle embossing powder, which is clear in color, it's see-through, but has that lovely purplish pinkish shine to it, and it's gorgeous, and there's a bit of a glitter in it as well. To add a little bit of an extra shine, I used two different types of glitter. One of them is the Crystal Pink. This is a new one I have and I really enjoy it. And the Crystal Crush. This is just white, very fine glitter. And I added the chunkier one in the middle of towards the body of the butterfly, and the finer one just in the middle of the wing. And I think these are just so gorgeous. Also added some little gemstones, and these are the ones from the spring collection from Chloe's again. Now the flowers that I decided to use were from the Paper Craft Society box. These are gorgeous. So what I did, I stamped out, I made two medium ones, two small ones, and one of the largest one. Okay, so for the largest one, first of all, it's these three pinks from the little cardstock that I used. This one has a very slight pink tint to it, and then the baby pink, and this darker pink, like hot pink kind of a color. So for the largest one, I used the lightest one, and it is gorgeous. The heat embossing powder that I used is the pink sherbet, and this is a glitter, lovely baby pink, kind of a glittery. It's gorgeous. I really loved using this. Okay, so the top layer is again with the same embossing powder on a piece of acetate, and the glitter that I added to it is the Crystal Pink. I hope you can pick up how gorgeous, truly gorgeous this is. So the medium ones I've stamped on this medium pink with white embossing powder, and it is white glittery. I think it was called Sparkling Snow. The same on the top layer of the acetate, and the glitter that I used is the Shell Pink. It's stunning. It's a bit of a darker one, and I made two of these. And for the smallest one, I used this darkest pink for the two layers of the petals, again with the Sparkling Snow embossing powder. Onto the acetate layer, I used the pink sherbet embossing powder that I showed you just a minute ago, and the glitter is again the same, the Crystal Pink. Okay, I think it's gorgeous, and I made two of these as well. For a foliage, I've used this here from the Dazzling Foliage set, and the embossing powder that I used to heat emboss this is the Golden Pine. The glitter that I added for extra glitter and extra shine is the Lime Zing. And I heat embossed this on heat resistant acetate, and I have a few of these prepared again. So the only thing that I haven't showed you yet is this bow and the ribbon, kind of an effect made of cardstock. And so to create that, first of all, I took two 1/2 inch of strips of a cardstock, and I cut them to the same size as this decorative piece of cardstock. To do that, I took that exact same die from the Blooming frame set that I cut that one out with, and I just sent the two 1/2 strip inch of a cardstock through it, so that way I got that little perforated detail on these as well. Then I took the glue pen and I inked up the two sides just very thinly, and I added some crystalline glitter in there as well, just kind of imitating the ribbons that you can get with the glittered edges, and I absolutely love it. So I made two pieces of these, which I'm going to glue in there. And to create the bow, I just used some oval dies that I had in my stash. Now this is not oval dies that I like to use, because these come kind of the unbranded ones, and I got them attached to each other like this here, and I don't like that because it leaves it. I know you can clear up that bit, file them off and all, but I haven't got patience for that, so I don't really use them for what I intended first, for sentiments, but I like to use them for jobs like this. So the two that I've cut out measure, the larger one is about 3¼ by 2 inches, and the smaller one is 1½ by 2¾ and I just took something grind and wrapped this around it just like so. Added a bit of a hot glue, just a little dot in there, glued it together, and I did the same with the larger one like so. I took the glue pen and very thinly just ran on the visible bits of the sides, so on the bottom, top part of the bottom, and this top bit in here on both sides, and I added Crystalina ink to 2 of them, and then I glued them on top of each other. Now I'm not going to do it to these ones, but I have these already prepared with the Crystalina on the edges. I hope you can pick up on all that lovely shine. And I made 2 of these. Okay, so I'm going to glue them on top of the what I call my ribbon, just like this. So I'm going to do that first. Just like that. And I think in itself, as this here, if you don't like to over decorate your makes, this would be perfect, like a lovely present already. But what I like to do, I like to over decorate mine. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to add this butterfly first of all, something like this. And all that's left in here is just to arrange the flowers and the foliage that I have prepared, and I'm just pretty much going to copy what I already done on the blue one. So in here I'm just going to use my hot glue gun. I'm going to put this bit on high speed. Okay, so this is the lovely box ready. Now, if you're using hot glue, just a quick tip, and you are left with all these strings everywhere, all you have to do, if you have a heat gun, just heat it up and just give it a quick blast, and this will melt all the strings away. I absolutely love doing this trick because I do not like strings hanging here and there everywhere, so I'm just gonna do this very quickly. Now, and it also blew away some of the glitter that wasn't glued down or attached, or was kind of sitting there loose. So this is the box ready. I absolutely love this. I don't know if I can fit the two on the one screen. Maybe I can. There's the blue and the pink one. For the blue ones I used more or less exactly the same things. The blue glitter that I used, the light blue one, is by Nuvo, as I didn't have any blue glitter by Chloe, but I have some of the Nuvo glitters. This pink I didn't use, but I have a lot of these jars that I need to use up. For the acetate butterfly, I use disco ball embossing powder, and this is exactly the same again, except instead of the pinkish tints, it has all the different disco ball kind of colors like silvers and blues. But otherwise I've used exactly the same things, except the blue embossing powder that I used on some of the acetates in here, you can see. And it is Sweet Dixie. I think I got this on Amazon a good while ago. I love it. I barely ever used it. This is the only blue that I have, so that's why I reached for this one. But it's gorgeous. It's got like a silver chunky glitter in it, holographic kind of silver. I think it's gorgeous. Okay, so but you can decorate these any ways that you want. You don't have to use glitter if you don't like. You don't have to over decorate them. As I said, with the bow itself, it looks absolutely fantastic already. So I really cannot even call which one I like more, the pink one or the blue one. They are both gorgeous. So this is the two boxes. I absolutely love them. They are just so really gorgeous. I love the colors. I love everything about them, honestly, and it's so nice. I'd love to receive one of these. But I'm gifting these to two ladies that I know. They will be able to use it for their moms, for Mother's Day, or for any occasion that they choose to. So I really hope you liked today's video, because I absolutely enjoyed creating this, even though it's quite a meaty project. It took quite a while. It took hours alone to create all the flowers and the decorations, but it is really worth it. This is one of a kind of a box, very unique. And you can make one of these too. If you're going to make one, just leave me a comment. If you liked today's tutorial, please give me the thumbs up, or consider subscribing to my channel if you haven't yet done so. I have many more lovely tutorials to bring you. Until the next time, bye!